always crying and whining. Stop it. Hey guys, what's up everybody? I'm absolutely Aisha here, and thank you guys so much for tuning into my Big Brother 19 weekly recap series where we talk all the backstabbing, the twists, and everything else in between. So sit back guys, we're gonna have a great conversation. Make sure you comment as we go. Now let's get into it. Cody had other plans. Apparently he told America that he was going after Paul, but none of the house guests. So they were kind of blindsided when Cody decided to place Paul up on the block as a replacement nominee. Now that plan kind of backfired because, as you guys know, Paul had the pendant of protection, meaning that he could not go home for the next 3 weeks, but Cody showed his card to not only Paul, but the house. Everyone else from his alliance felt like so betrayed. They were all attacking him, and weirdly enough, everybody immediately jumped ship from Cody and was all of a sudden Team Paul, which I think is going to backfire in the end because Paul came runner-up. At this point, Paul is winning this competition. So we're now at the HOH competition, the Candy Crush one. We had a bunch of people having to hunt through balls and having to get their ball just right. And it was clear during the competition that everybody who was once on Cody's side now all of a sudden jumped ship to Paul. Instead of gunning for the competition to win for themselves, they were all handing off balls to Paul, hoping to give him more chance to go after Cody. When it's all said and done, their strategy did work because Paul, having more chances because he had a ton of balls, he ended up winning the competition and the plan was in motion. Alright, so after the competition, Cody and Jessica are, I guess, just frustrated at the fact that they didn't win, and they know that they're pretty much fresh meat at this point, and that Paul is definitely going to be gunning for them that week. So pissed off, they feel the need to go and attack Josh, because I think Josh came into the room and basically was expressing that, hey, you guys, I didn't betray you, and all this, you know, jibber jabber. And Cody and Jessica were having none of that. Cody and Jessica and Josh, they're going at it. And y'all, what's wrong with Josh? Like, Josh is always somewhere whining and crying. Okay, now in this circumstance, I did feel bad for him because Cody and Jessica were attacking pretty hard. They called him a little boy. Cody was saying that he was always making victim noises. And it kind of turned into a situation that kind of felt like a bullying situation, which, you know, I'm never for. But, Josh, quit crying, boy. And now it's time to see, in the words of Rachel, "Who wants to see my HOH room?" Pretty much the whole house, besides Cody and Jessica, is excited for the fact that Paul won because they knew that, basically they knew that they weren't the target this week. And I think that's pretty much what they were excited about. Not necessarily that they were going for Cody and Jessica, but just the fact that they knew that they weren't up for grabs that week. So everybody's all excited to go see Paul's room and what he has. Cody sitting over there like a sad sack. Talk about a sore loser. Like, why did you even come upstairs? I guess, is that a rule? Like, that Big Brother contestants have to go see it? Of course, knowing the fact that Cody is, you know, gonna be a competition beast, Paul didn't want to give him a chance to compete for veto. So he goes to Matt and Raven and was asking him, like, okay, would it be okay if I put you guys up on the block kind of as a pawn? And like I would be, they were like, don't you think you can find somebody else? So plan B, he goes to the other side of the house to try to pick nominees from there. He approaches Alex. Alex reluctantly says, I'm cool with it. Josh, of all people, he went to whiny Josh, but I guess in the event that Cody did win, we'd at least be able to get him out the house. Lord help him. So Josh actually agrees to be a pawn. Super shocked that he didn't like kind of blow up Paul's spot automatically, but I think it's kind of obvious what the plan was. So now the nominees on the block are Josh, Alex. But of course, everybody knew that they weren't the one to go home. So we get to the nomination ceremony, and of course, you know, Ramses was cursed first, and he has to throw himself on the block within the next week. And he actually chose a pretty good week because everybody's kind of going after Cody. Ain't nobody thinking about little Ramsey. So Ramses decided to throw himself up on the block, reluctantly, I guess, as anyone else would. And now we have the Den of Temptation. So this week, America chose Christmas! So the power of the week is the ringer replacement, and with this power, Christmas is able to compete in any veto competition that she wants to this summer. Anyone. Which is a pretty cool power, because that means if it's a week where everybody feels like they're gunning for you, Christmas can be like, bam. And now, of course, as with every power before, there has to be a curse. And Christmas was lucky enough to be able to actually pick what 3 house contestants did she want to have the curse this week. She chose, of course, Cody and Jessica, since they're not friends at this point. And Jason, I'm not sure why she chose Jason. Can anybody kind of enlighten me why she chose him? So with the curse this week, Cody, Jessica, and Jason all had to become vetoes. Like other Big Brother curses in the past, they have to wear a toad costume and hop every single place they go. Which, to be honest, compared to Ramses' curse that he got, wearing a costume and hopping all over the place ain't really much of a curse. Making yourself potentially lose $500,000, wearing a toad costume. I'll take the toad costume. This week, we saw Cody and Jessica having their toad date. Aww. First of all, Cody is fun, hilarious in that little toad suit. The fact that he might be going home wearing that toad suit just makes it all the more better, because he's just sitting there like this. They're sitting there, got the ambiance of the Big Brother secret room. They've got their slop. Here, baby, let me feed you a piece of slop. So Ramses, as the third nominee, would have the power to play for veto, but if he played for veto, there can be no replacement nominee. Now, of course, with the plan to backdoor Cody, there has to be a replacement nominee in order for this to work. So basically, all goes to Ramses is like, look, I'm not gunning for you. Like, I just need you to stay up on the block so that we can get Cody out the house. And pretty much this is like the whole house's plan. So I don't know why, he would think he could go against this plan. This boy, I guess, being up on the block, it can be kind of an insecure position because you really don't know where you stand with everybody in the house at whatever moment. But dude, the entire house was against Cody at this point. He insisted on playing to win this competition when all he had to do was just throw the veto. That's it. You say, boy, don't nobody want you. I had to remember like insignificant stuff like the color on the map or how many luggages there were or what the time was on the clocks that you saw. Problem is that most of the contestants didn't remember much of anything, as would I not have. So when Ramses was going through this competition, I wasn't sure whether it was actually his intention to actually throw this competition. I don't think so, because this little nerd ass was just going through the competition, just woohoo, woohoo, because everybody else who seemed to kind of be struggling when they got delayed. So we get down to the actual times to see who won, and Ramses happened to have been second on that list, and his time was 7:42. So already people's faces are like, wait, I thought you were supposed to be throwing it. Like, people are already getting suspicious. The times after that were like 22 minutes, 19 minutes, 18, 20, and it got very, very nerve-wracking. Paul's name was last on the list. Big Brother, why y'all so dramatic? And I was nervous. They went to commercial break on me. But in the end, Paul ended up beasting it out, and his time was 4 minutes and 30-something seconds. So Paul ended up winning. Problem. Ramses claims that I was actually trying to throw it. So basically, Ramses has now gained an enemy in Paul because he is now suspicious about where Ramses stands in the house, which I don't know if that was his intention, but that's what he was doing. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Oddball Alliance that I was going for in the beginning. So it's finally time for the veto ceremony. Paul now has the power of veto in his hands. And of course, he wanted his plan to go in motion, so he ended up taking Josh off the block and replacing him, of course, with Cody. But this was not before some drama went down. Let me get closer. Josh, why are you always crying and whining? Stop it! You are a man, not a boy, a man. Josh decides to take this opportunity before he's even placed off the block to get in Cody and Jessica's face Like,
I'm better than you, and that's why you're going home, and da da da.
But lucky for him, the plan is still intact. But anyways, the nominations right now remain Cody and Alex, who will go home on Big Brother. Well, we're gonna find out tonight. I am recording right now on Thursday, and of course the evictions are live, so any of you people who watch the live feeds cannot ruin it for me. But by the time this video gets out, it will be Friday, so you guys will already know who won HOH, hopefully, and who went home. So, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to recap 3 of my Big Brother 19 weekly recap series. Make sure, if you are not already, make sure you are subscribing to my channel. That way you can come back with me every week so we can talk about what's going on. If you haven't already, leave your comments down below. I don't care if you have different opinions. Comment. Let's have the debate. Also, I will be live tweeting on some episodes, so make sure you follow me on Twitter if you're not already. And that's it. I'm absolutely Aisha. See you guys next time.